The Mel Carmine Show begins in just 1 minute. Support the movement. Visit QFS1776.com for exclusive one-of-a-kind merch that makes a powerful statement. Protect your wealth. Cash is trash. Go to carminesgold.com and secure real assets, silver, gold, delivered anywhere in the U.S. Text Mel at 786-704-8817. Looking to acquire XRP? Minimum is $10,000 investment, and there is no limit, even up to $100 million worth. Again, text Mel with full details at 786-704-8817 and allow up to 24 hours for a response. And yes, text the same number to establish your religious irrevocable trust. Protect everything you built. You own nothing, but you control everything. And if by chance you're visiting Cape Canaveral or you are a local, visit stayingalive.com, alive with 2 E's, and recharge your body at the cellular level. The show with your host, Mel Carmine, starts right now. All right, gentlemen, we got Colin O'Brien and I did maybe, 4, 5, 6 podcasts back in the day when I still didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm still here, right? By the grace of God. And we got XRP Shaman. In some circles, he's also known as Jeff Bezos, not the clone, the real one. The clone, he's gone, right? But anyway, gentlemen, first question is this. The price manipulation is in your face for the last 10, 11, 12 weeks. I mean, it's been, $2.10, $2.50, $1.78, and they are just parking it there. They're not allowing it to go. This next bull run, this is my personal belief, I could be dead wrong, but this next bull run is not going to be any resemblance of the old bull run. I think this thing is going to go parabolic.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they need the money, they need to move trillions, the liquidity, BlackRock, the ETFs, State Street, Vanguard. It's going to be a freaking minestrone of storm, if you will, of every conceivable thing you could possibly throw at it. Is it safe to just say, I'm going to take 100,000 XRP, I'm going to park it here, or 50,000 XRP, and then cash out and try to make a profit, or you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass? We'll go with you, Colin, first.
Are you talking about doing that now or later?
Yeah, parking it and putting it on automatic pilot. Okay. Because if you're going to try to call your brokerage firm, like, I got these brokers all over the world, right, that can get you any amount of XRP.
Yeah.
If you try to call him, there's going to be like 72,000 people calling the same brokerage firm or trying to get in to try to sell to make a profit. You're not getting in, right?
Right.
So is it safe to just park it, put it on a timer to sell immediately, and park it as a stable coin, maybe USD, the real United States dollar? Or do you just say, you know what, I'm not selling, this one's going to go thousands of dollars?
Well, I mean, it really all comes down to how much each individual has. It also comes down to where you believe the price is actually going to go, and then at where it actually goes, right? I think for a lot of people, are definitely going to sell a portion of what they've got, regardless of how much that is. I think if people are smart, they'll hold on to at least half, and you'll be able to lend against that XRP and bring in, some sort of APR, depending on where it's going out. But we're talking about, the way that this asset class looks now is absolutely nothing compared to where it's going. And I believe in the short term. I still think that Claver is right. Whether it be this year or early 26, there are some factors that we could see occur, like the reverse carry trade out in Japan. Look at it this way: regardless of what it is, there's going to be some extreme liquidity crises occurring, and I really actually believe that as the rest of the market goes down, XRP is going to decouple and go straight up. Now, that's one possibility. I still believe, like Garlinghouse always says, 99.9% of the market is going to go to zero. And there's various reasons for that. One has to do with the CCP and just how many assets that they've, minted and put out onto the market. Okay, personally, I think when the Tether bubble pops, when that super volcano goes, it's going to take down Bitcoin. It's going to take down Ethereum. All of the the conventional assets that this space, this digital asset space is made up of to the normie, right? I don't think it goes to I don't think Bitcoin goes to zero. I think we see it go down to around $3,000. Whether it goes to total zero is another story eventually, but again, to round this off back to where your question is at, it's my opinion, and I'm not a financial advisor, so this is not financial advice, but I would don't sell any more than half of what you got after price appreciation because there's going to be a lot of opportunities to lend against that XRP, and there's going to be a lot of people that want it.
Yeah, it's really hard to predict what the price appreciation is going to be on this one. This one's got to do with moving all of the money on Earth. This has got to do with the financial system completely overhauled, and we're going. It's no longer a dress rehearsal. This is not like, oh, okay, we just invented a new monetary system. Here's our first bull run. Oops. And then we have to wait another 5, 6 years, 7 years for it to happen all over again. This is because it's going to happen now. It's going to happen because meaning the financial institutions that are left standing, they have to move all the money. This is a different scenario. The only reason why Bitcoin, then I'm going to go to Shaman. The only reason why Bitcoin gets to survive is because, and I've said this many, many times publicly, I think there's nobody in the world that has more experience in Ponzi schemes than the United States government.
Oh,
and all of the governments. They are experts at Ponzi schemes. They got PhD, public high school diplomas on Ponzi schemes, right? So they get to survive because they say so. When they say, okay, I'm going to throw ETFs, we're going to put enough lipstick on it, and enough fools will buy that thing because it's not going to go 10x, it's not going to go 100x. Anybody who thinks that, obviously is smoking whatever sailor is smoking. I'm not smoking that shit. So let's go to Shaman here, also known as Jeff Bezos. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think this next bull run is going to be like sort of like the last one? We go to $3.92, and then we got to wait another 7 years to get to the next bull run?
I really don't think that that's going to happen. I think we're very close to the end of this thing. I really do.
Yeah.
Look at everything that's happening right now. If you look at last week, you brought up Evergrande as well in regards to the Tether stuff, how that's all tied together with both Bitcoin, Ether, and they're all tied together. All the funding was coming in through those arms to get to them so that they could build those systems. And we know that there's 300 billion that they have to write off their books. That hasn't occurred yet. Is that when Tether goes to zero? Is that when Ethereum goes to zero? Is that when Bitcoin goes to zero? And look what they did in the Ripple Swell event. As you walk into the event, on the left side, you had an Evergrande model. And on the right side, you had 2 pizza boxes.
Yeah.
Tell me they were not throwing it right in their face right there.
Yeah.
Right? That whole event in New York was symbolic. Kind of like what's happening in Washington, D.C. with the new addition to that ballroom, whatever that is going to be. Anyway, if you look at where it was right in the heart of the financial district. In fact, if you keep going down that angled road that was just to the left of us where we were staying in the freehand, it takes you all the way back to the immigration bank that was built in 1912. Why was that built in 1912?
Interesting timing, yeah.
I mean, it was actually an honor to be there, because if you understood what was really happening, and if you know about the Q drops, they also told us it was um, election day +1, which on the 4th was and then on the next day was where we were, which was so right, so right. Remember the 5th of November. There was a reason why
Yeah.
they've been calling that
Yeah.
this whole time.
Well, guys, it's really important that we announce this workshop. Okay. Sometime after the 22nd, because we want to make sure that this is a significant date, the 22nd of November, that everybody says we're going to have a price appreciation on steroids, etc.
Or three-quarter.
I think that a workshop with with being able to take your assets and put them in a religious irrevocable trust, okay, and buying a lifetime insurance policy of one very low price tag, which is absolutely worth it when you realize that shit. If the old government survives a little longer, they want 28% of my cryptos in capital gains. You'll be absolutely crazy out of your freaking mind not to do it. Okay, it's an insurance policy that lasts forever. And if the bad guys come back 100 years from now, you're still alive, they can't touch your shit. Number one. Number two, we're going to have these guys on stage. Hopefully we can convince Colin to come down and they'll take questions. It will be a workshop about the new financial system that's coming that you can't get away from. It's coming. Okay. And you're going to be able to get there in the flesh and be able to ask questions and hobnob with some of these people that really understand this new financial system. It's not like you can opt out. You can't. You can't say, oh, you know what? I'll just stay with whatever paper currency. It's coming. You better either learn, get positioned, or get clobbered. That's really the only way I can explain it. But that's going to be at Staying Alive in Cape Canaveral sometime after the 22nd. A date will be announced very, very soon. So if you want to know about that, call stayingalive.com, alive with 2 E's, and get on the mailing list because we are going to make that announcement. Okay. So we're going to have those on a regular basis every 5 or 6 weeks. We're going to have workshops, religious irrevocable trust. You own nothing, you control everything, and then we're going to teach you about the new financial system that's here. All right, gentlemen. Next
Brilliant.
question. This government shutdown, does this shutdown had anything to do with getting ready for what we call as central casting, this movie that we're in, for this new revaluation of wealth?
Well, you want me to go?
Sure.
Okay.
You know, we see how this whole thing has been phase by phase by phase. Clearly, I think. Well, what we saw there, I think, was done for exposure purposes. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about in particular how broken the healthcare system is. Amongst other things, of course, too. We also learned that the Democrats will shut the government down to serve their agenda, regardless of what it is. Just a refresher, you know, they did the same thing to get Obamacare through. They shut the government down. They didn't have the leverage at the time to get it all the way through, and then they did it again to try to, you know, keep it on life support, keep it moving along. What did we learn, though? We learned, for instance, just one piece of information that 44 BO, right? Well, he gets 2.5 million in royalties a year from that deal. How many people knew that? I don't think many, unless you really dug into it to see where the money was flowing. But I think the shutdown was part of the exposure op. And yes, it does move us further along to this next phase, which we're going to be in as soon as the House, which is on a continuity of government standing, by the way, as soon as they vote to reopen the government, then we go into another phase, which I believe is going to be a waterfall of indictments. And it'll also mark a important shift to an overt military type of control, because we're going to learn that, okay, a lot of this stuff has to be handled by military courts, tribunals. This is where we see the likes of Guantanamo Bay and Guam, Greenland, and other major, prisons that these people will be going to really come into the focus. So I think I don't know that it has, other than just the fact that we're going face to face. I don't know that the shutdown itself had too much to do with the new financial system itself, but it was another phase in the operation that we just concluded. And look, I was hearing about a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with the military and some of the things that they needed the government shut down to do, and some of the things that they discovered and went and cleaned out. The important thing to remember here is that we've been on a continuity of government footing since the first Trump administration. That's never been lifted. The national emergencies never ended they were never ended by Congress. In fact, we're going to be seeing another one filed when we get this executive order coming out regarding the 2026 midterm. So that's my thought.
Perfect. What are your thoughts, Shaman?
Well, regards to our shutdown, it's all part of the plan for me. Everything's flowing exactly the way they want it to. I believe it's more financial driven than anything, because this is what really it's all about. I think most of it's a big movie in order for people to wake up, move to the other side, because that's kind of what they're trying to do here, is get less opposition in this whole move to show the people it's better for them. It's all part of the plan. It really is. I don't look anything like what happens as kind of something, a direction from where we're headed. It's already mapped out. They're just exposing it to us bit by bit. And if you look right now, it's happening in a way that is massive, because we're to that flood stage, and it's flowing everywhere. Every day we hear about major milestones from a crypto perspective. This company, they just bought that $1 billion company, Ripple did. I mean, this place, it's already been there. This is all done. The only thing that's not done is the exposure. So, a lot of it I just play as kind of rhetoric. I try to stay at about 40,000 feet and look down, because to get involved in the intricacies is basically where they want you to be in order to follow that, because really the overall scale of it is about the financial reset.
Right.
All that's just.
How big do you think it actually get? I mean, I'm on board with the numbers. I'm on board with the numbers, but I'm not on board with the dates. I'm not a date guy. Never been, never will be.
Let me finish this though. In regards to that, if you understand what XRP is, okay, Colin, we've never spoke about this, so I don't know what you think about it. It's an accounting system. This is our new global banking accounting system.
I would agree.
XRP, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Every transaction you see with the green circle and green check mark is using the XRP ledger.
Yeah.
Everything. And I saw it when I was in Europe a lot the last 3 years.
Looks like we lost him.
I think he froze.
Yeah.
Well, if he did, he'll probably come right.
Hey, while he's buffering or whatever, can I make a statement? Bill, back on the first question you asked, I actually believe that instead of seeing appreciation like we normally do, I'm big on this flip of the switch moment, man, because like he was just saying, like these things are all already in place. The reason why we hadn't seen everything go into action was because the people weren't ready. There needed to be that level of exposure to match what was coming in the new system, right?
Right.
We people needed to know what the mischief and the evil of the old in order to justify seeing the new. So I actually believe that whether it's 1, 2, or 3 switches, we're going to see XRP and the other assets that are going to move with it, like XLM and XDC and the basket. Well, these are already pre-priced out. Like there is a specific number that they've already agreed to for these assets. So I actually believe whether we see it go from like $2.50 all the way up to 50,000 a token, 100,000 a token. I mean, look, when people, some people laugh at that. Okay, well, Bitcoin's over 100K and it's a piece of junk. It doesn't do anything,
Right.
right? If Bitcoin can be that valuable, I mean, there's a lot of fraud behind why also. But if we're talking an asset that's going to manage all of the wealth in the world, new world, not old world. We're talking about everything on Ledger. That's why I believe Schwartz, man, he said 3 separate times Bitcoin or I'm sorry, that XRP would be $1 million a token. So does that come right away? Probably not, but it's definitely one of the switches in my opinion. So I
Again,
think we
I
go
don't think.
straight up.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with you and I or how much we want it to be worth. I mean, if it was up to
Right,
us, we'd say crank it up to 10 million, right?
right,
The
right,
reality, they have to crank it up according to how much money they have to move and how often they have to move. Because the XRP gets used over. Somebody will send it from Australia to Mexico. From Mexico, it might be sent to Argentina, and just keep switching money over and over again. It's a compatibility system for all of the money that's going digital worldwide.
right.
So when they say, well, you got, billions and whatever, we still don't have enough. It's about supply and demand. So if there's a huge demand and we don't have enough supply, we have to crank that number to a big number. And that's where the disconnect is with the XRP people that understand that equation, which there are not many, but it's really 1 or 2%.
Right, right.
And the Bitcoin Nancies, as I like to call them, they don't get it. They don't
No, they
understand.
don't.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll see what happens. But let's hope that Shaman gets back here shortly.
Yeah, I hope he does. Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you see the next big shooter drop as far as the government reopening, etc.? How does that play into what's happening as far as the banks, the XRP Ripple, which is now partners with the Treasury, etc.?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the next big shoe to drop, in my opinion, just in general, are going to be probably a list of indictments on some people. Um, when you look at the financial system itself, when we veer over to looking at just that, um, I think the next shoe to drop is probably a bond crisis in the
Hmm.
country. Um, it's clearly one of the things that has to happen. I don't know, man. This storm that's coming, financially speaking, that's a big part of it. Is going to be a number of crises, liquidity crises, bond crisis, the works, and I honestly believe that no later than. I mean, I hate to really put dates and stuff on it, but if you look at the way that things are flowing now, I would think that by the end of the spring, we should probably have our new system in place. That would be my opinion.
Right,
So,
right. Hey,
yeah.
Shaman, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Anyway, so my thing is this: I don't really do the date stuff, but I do the price appreciation. Uh, you know, I think 50 to 100,000 is very conservative, a really ultra conservative number. There's a guy,
Yes.
our friend Bill, which you knew who he was all along, Shaman, down in Boca Raton, which I beg this guy every day I see him, every time I talk to him, please become a podcaster. The biggest podcasters in XRP don't have a channel yet. You're looking at
Yeah.
probably two of them right here. Okay,
Yeah.
haven't started yet.
Now that YouTube is done with its shenanigans, yeah, I actually might be able to get a channel to hold.
To stick.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch my documentary?
Yeah, oh yeah, I saw it. You're gonna do another one, right?
I'm doing another one, but this one I have to piss everybody. I just want to make it my life's mission that when they chisel my grave, my gravestone, 2,800 years from now, it's
Yeah.
going to say Mel Carmine lies here. he was the only one on planet Earth that was able to piss off 8 billion people and had 92 governments that wanted to kill him.
I don't believe there's that many people on the earth, by the way.
Yeah, I
Well, that
I
could be
agree with
another
that, by the
argument.
way, too.
Yeah. So yeah, the price tag of $1 million when you start to listen to guys like Bill down in Boca, it's really not far fetched because this guy understands the XRP, what's underneath the engine, down to the minute detail, so good that
It's an accounting system.
he was talking to a friend of mine who came to the XRP party in Manhattan, who happens to be 87 years young. You know who she is, right? And Zach Rector met her. He thought she was a hoot, and she is. And she's made millions and millions. I don't know. I don't know what her wallet is. I've never opened up her wallet, but I know it's a lot. She's invested, I think, it was either 300 or 800, I forget the number. And she never sold because she caught the vision. She got the vision. She said, I'm not selling this thing. One day is going to be worth a lot of money. Just like when Donald Trump gave a 100 trillion Zimbabwe note to everybody on one of the episodes, and that episode was erased off the internet. So if anybody ever finds,
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, if anybody ever finds that episode, would you please send it to me? Send me the link.
Wow, that's
Text it to me at 786-704-8817 and label it. Say, this is the episode where Donald Trump gave $100 trillion note to everybody on that particular episode. And he said, hold on to it. One day it's going to be worth a lot of money.
That's
So
wild.
this lady came and she's sitting and she's having a couple of bourbons. She likes to indulge a little bit. She's a hoot. She's one of my good friends, and she's talking to who? Bill in Boca Raton. And you know what she said to me? She goes, "Get me that guy's number. That guy is very interesting." This is a lady she's running on all cylinders. Number one. She's the furthest thing from dementia, if you will. She understands the market, and she owns, I would say, tens of millions. I don't know exactly how many tens, but several tens of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. And because of yours truly, she also owns several 100,000 XRP, right?
Oh, good.
Right? If I could have my cake and eat it too, she would take her however many millions and parlay it over and just sit back for 6 months or say 17 months or whatever and relax. And I guarantee you she would be much richer. And when that happens, because today, what is the price?
Yeah.
$2.33 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
So let's remember to this day, $2.33, right? She's got millions. Let's figure out, I think a Bitcoin was 101,000 today. And let's figure out 17 months from now, or maybe 7 months from now, whenever they allow us to have it, how much that Bitcoin would have been worth if she had moved it over in XRP. Let's do that calculation when the time comes. I think that'll be fun.
Well, I think if she's going to be watching this at any point, that it would be one of the best decisions ever made to get out of Bitcoin ASAP. When they pull the plug on Tether, which is going to go because it's all fraud. Mm-hmm. I mean, who does their own audit? By the way,
exactly.
That doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, I hate to say this, but it used to be around 70%. Now it's around 85% of Tether. Of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin and Tether are the most traded pair, right? About 85% to Bitcoin. So if Tether goes down to poof, gone, well, let's do the math on that, right? If Bitcoin's at 101,000, then you're going to have roughly a $15,000 Bitcoin just abruptly when they pull the plug on that. And that's just part of the fraud. It's the biggest part, but there's more to it. And that's why I think short term, when we do see this crisis occur, you'll probably see Bitcoin settle in around 3K.
Wow. You heard it. You heard it here first. $3,000.
Yep. I heard him earlier. He said that earlier.
Yeah.
He said $3K.
$3,000.
Let me ask you this, Colin.
Yeah.
In regards to that, you're seeing that they're all going to go down these but you got to look at also. There's all these new companies that are doing these deals with Tether.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that throws you off, you know,
Right.
because if they're dealing with Santander to do something, then what? I mean,
Yeah. Well, you have to think too. There's the old tether, and then if you saw, they're minting a new tether for the U.S. that abides by the new stablecoin bill that was just passed.
right.
Well, I mean, let's think of it for a second here. If they were above board, why would you have to make a new asset, right? It's because they're
I
not. There's
agree with you.
nothing. There's nothing there that holds any water. It's terrible fraud. If you turn around, almost like every other week, you see Tether's minting a billion more tokens, and they do it from absolute thin air.
As well, if you ever sit there and watch their price, they
Yeah.
go below one a lot,
Oh yeah, it loses its peg all the time.
all the time.
But also, let me say this. So to your point there about these other companies that are doing deals with Tether, they may be companies that are supposed to go down. Like you were saying, this is all done, right? It is. It is all done. We're seeing the exposure. The way that I think a lot of this is being set up is to where you're seeing companies that do deals like that with a super volcano that's guaranteed to erupt, by the way. It could be that they're companies that are also going to go down, that they've been engaged in a lot of fraud, a lot of human rights abuses. Those executive orders from the first term, I mean, those all took effect at that time, and from the signing onward, a lot of these entities were dealt with back then already. So they've said, okay, this is a continuity of government. We're also going to run a continuity for these companies that are on ice, make it look real, make it look like there's a method to this madness, when really it's all exposure, like you said. It really is. So,
Yeah. What do you guys make of the post that happened recently, just a few days ago? Donald Trump on Truth Social, and so it begins.
yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it has to do
I
with
sure
the
did.
financial aspects of our new country because now what they've done is just
What does he mean
took
by
New
that,
York
though? What
down.
begins? The new financial system? What begins? Is he attacking Venezuela? What begins?
If you want to, I have an answer if
Yeah.
unless
Go
Shannon
ahead.
wanted to.
No,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. So I actually believe that he did that after Mamdani won the election, right? Okay, so I think what's happening there is that the financial center of our country is being moved out of New York and down to the Palm Beach area. And in order to get these companies to move, well, they're making it look this way. Again, this is a show, as we keep saying and reminding people. This is the way they're going about doing it to make it look like, oh shit, there's a Marxist communist coming into power. We better get out now. Because this guy is going to bleed the city dry of any life that it has left in it. So I think that's what it pertains to, is that, okay, this migration, which has other meanings, right? There's a migration to ISO that completes this month, right? Well, this is a physical migration of companies from New York down to Florida, and the the financial seat of power for the country will be South Florida. The political seat of Florida will be, or power will be in South Florida, right there on the coast. There, you guys are both right there, so you're positioned perfectly. But that's what I think is going on there, and also like the country itself is going to soon include Canada, the UK, Australia, Greenland, New Zealand, uh, Mexico. I mean, we're looking at the American empire, a good empire that's coming into power and into to
UK is
form.
not part of
So
it, by the way. They're calling.
I'm sorry.
They're going to be. They're going to be their own little entity. UK is. Okay. And that's all they're getting. Guess why? Because they did a poor job these last thousands of years controlling people. So United Kingdom's not getting nothing but United Kingdom. I
Okay.
just
I mean, I
posted,
hadn't heard that, but
yeah,
that could
I
be the
posted
case.
all of the countries lists
Okay.
about 4 days ago with all the emblems, the new seals for those countries. The only one they have not shown us fully is America, because I think it would show us that there'll be the 70 countries, like Trump stood under that flag that had the 70 stars under it and gave a speech before the election.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see how it plays out, but to your
right.
point, the UK has been uh, probably the worst abuser. If you can like think about the saying, "The sun never sets on the British Empire." Well, you bring that. Let's unpack that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so the British Empire had all these colonies everywhere. They did all sorts of mischief. Um, I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But a lot of European countries are like that too. But yeah, the UK is probably the worst.
And that European areas could be the capital be in Spain somewhere. I don't know what country or what area of Spain, but it'll be Spain, um, Russia. It'll be the Americas for us,
Yeah, yeah.
which
Do
goes
you,
all the way down to doesn't include South America. Does it?
do you think that Donald Trump is trying to he wants to tell us so bad that he said it's going to be an amazing Christmas?
I'm hoping so, brother. I'm
Huh?
ready.
I'm ready
I'm so
too, but
ready.
I mean, like he wants everybody in America to be healthy and to be wealthy, which is the same thing Mel
When
Carmine.
did he say that again? I know he said that a lot of times, but
No,
when
but he
was the
said
most
it. He said
recent
it now
time?
recently, like a week ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That it's going to be an amazing
yeah.
Christmas. And so it begins. It's going to be an amazing Christmas. Okay, what is Mondani's role in this whole thing? I just saw a video that got like millions of views and millions of reshares. I think it was on Instagram where the guy said, "You guys wanted him. You elected him. They didn't elect him because there's been a lot of the word that says starts with F and ends with a D. Okay,
Yeah.
they finagle the bagel on the entire selection of who gets to be the mayor of New York. Okay, and you guys know what we mean. We got to be stay under the
Of
radar.
course.
These assholes. But anyway, needless to say, he said no mini skirts. You can't dress provocative anymore, and if you're a woman, you cannot go after dark. How long before he says you have to wear a hijab if you want to live
Yeah.
in New York?
Right.
What's going to happen to the property value when he makes that announcement and he tries to make that the law?
Yeah. It's a joke, man. Like,
It's part of the demise of New York. It's the
yeah.
financial system is going down
Right. Right. Yep.
totally.
Yep. New system altogether. I like how they're putting it in a new spot for sure. Let's start fresh all the way around the board.
Right. So you think this guy's going to last past the middle of 2026? I think if one thing happens, only one, not two things, just one thing. And that one thing is Donald Trump says we're sending in ICE. We're going to arrest all the illegal people, right? And he says no, we don't want ICE here. ICE is not allowed here. Trump said it on Rogan. He said, "What happens if he does that?" Rogan asked Donald Trump, and
We'll
Donald Trump
arrest
said,
him.
"We're going to arrest him."
Yeah.
And I think Donald Trump will probably be good on his thread on that one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I actually believe that a scenario will play out where he actually won't become the mayor. I think they're going to be able to get what they need done based on the idea that he's becoming the mayor. I think companies,
Look, I have nothing against Muslim people, but if you're
me neither, yeah.
radical Muslim and you don't want to assimilate what our country has to offer, even though I was born in another country myself, I've
Yeah,
assimilated. I believe this
right,
is my country,
right,
just like you guys were born here. I was born there. Okay,
right.
and so if you don't want to simulate and you want to bring your Muslim culture to America and you
Yeah,
don't like it here, get the F out of here.
right, right. And you would
Leave.
think that New York, of all places, would be the ones to embrace that sentiment the most, right?
Right.
And it's just funny how this show is playing out.
How long do you think there's going to be massive protests in the streets where all 8 million people in Manhattan or in the streets protest and say, get this guy out of here?
Yeah, I mean, you have. I can't see a true real scenario where they're actually going to let this guy take power. It doesn't fit. Like even in a movie, like in a movie setting which is what we have going on. It doesn't even make sense in that setting to have him take over. You can get what you need done just by having the idea of him coming into power. Now there is an exposure side of it too for people that are within the city and even outside the city too, but that are still fast asleep and they catch wind of this, this Marxist guy, this communist guy that has won the election. It's it's doing its job. It's waking a lot of people up, and we have to remember 4 to 6% are lost forever, and that will include quite a few people in New York City. So, but look, they're doing humanity a service by giving the proper time for to allow all of this deprogramming to sink in, so that we can move forward. So I don't know. In my opinion, he's not going to be allowed to hold power, and if he does, then it can't be for very long. There's no way it would work.
Right.
No, I thought that, Colin, in the same aspect when Trump lost the election to Biden. We
Yeah,
thought that we could
yeah,
all get fixed before
right, right.
Trump would come back in. And here we went through 4 years of that.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. But we have to also remember that this guy is an avowed communist Marxist. I mean, we knew
No
that
question about it.
we knew that the things that the modern Democrats stand for are no, I'm not talking about the far left. I'm talking about like the moderate Democrat. We're starting to veer towards communist like, but it's the far left that embraces these nonsensical ideas that have never worked ever. And it really goes to show you the level of programming that people that agree with this have, the level of just idiocy, that's another thing, or they're guilty of crimes. If you go on X, anybody that has truly terrible things to say about, for instance, the president, right? Well, that individual is either guilty of crimes or they're deeply programmed. And honestly, at this point, there's a lot of both. There's a lot of both classification, but the deprogramming effort is definitely working. It's definitely working.
While we're on the subject of politics, I just got back from gorgeous California, and it is gorgeous. It's the prettiest state in the union. I like Florida a lot. I love Florida, but Florida is my second favorite. My first favorite is California from a landscape standpoint, from a prettiness standpoint. There's nothing that can touch it. We drove through Laguna Beach. Amber said, "Hey, drive me through Laguna Beach. I want to see Laguna Beach." So we got to do that. She loved it. She's like, "Oh my God, this place is paradise," and it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So my good friend Louis Herms, if you guys go to screwbiggov.com, screwbiggov.
Oh, I know about. Yeah, I know all about him.
Yeah, he's running for
Governor, right?
governor of California. I think he's calling himself the guardian of California, not the governor. We are the governors. We're going to govern him and hold his feet to the fire, make sure that he does what he says he's going to do. And one of the things he's running on is child trafficking. And him and I are on the same page. Get rid of big government. Get rid of all these agencies who have been literally milking Californians into the billions and trillions of dollars over the last 4 or 5 decades, and start putting people not in prison because look, we don't make the laws. We don't. Lewis doesn't make the laws. The laws are already in place. If the law says, hey, you've been setting up shop with illegal agencies to tax the Californians out of existence, which is a lot of people have moved out because they couldn't take it anymore. You can't survive there unless you make, $8 billion a year after taxes. You know what I mean?
Or if you're a criminal, yeah.
Yeah. So they're being taxed out of existence. People are moving out. There are damages here that are beyond, treasonous. So if the crime fits, and the crime says you've created treasonous crimes, and you got to go down to Gitmo, then that's what they're going to do. I
Yeah.
will tell you right now. I will tell you right now. Providing we can get, and I believe that if we get all the podcasters behind Lewis, I believe we can. If we recruit a bunch of street teams, because in the street, Google does not control the algorithms. We do. We are the kings of the street. Okay.
Oh, Lewis will win that election, and I'll tell you why.
Mm.
Because the executive order that's coming for elections for 26 is going to set things up so that the voter rolls are completely redone. They're going to throw the old voter rolls out and write the new ones. Everyone's going to have to sign up with the qualifying materials. There likely won't be any machines involved. It's a paper ballot. It's cast and counted where it's cast, right? Same place. And if you do all those things, the entire country will go deep red.
Yeah, absolutely.
What did 17 say, by the way? Watch CA.
Yeah, well, he's one of us. He's part of that movement as well. And
Yeah.
I can tell you, that open carry will be like immediate, concealed carry immediate, constitutional carry immediate. There's going to be most likely free classes given by the government so that we can teach people how to use these things right properly.
Excellent.
Which means you could take half of the corrupt police force and send them home and hire the right kind of police officers where they go and inspect our food to make sure that our food is nothing less than super organic. Otherwise, there'll be fines number 1, 2, and 3. By the time you get to fine number 3, you will not be able to pay the fine. We'll auction your company off to somebody that does it properly, and
Right.
you're out of business. You're
Yeah.
either going to do it our way or it's the freaking highway,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So those are. I mean, look, providing we can get him in, I tell you, he would be the toughest sheriff in town. Bianco did not show up to the debate. Why? Why would he stick his penis in a hornet's nest? Right?
Yeah.
He's got a room full of people that can't stand him. Either he's too arrogant and he thinks that the fix is in for him, number 1, or number 2, he's not as dumb as he looks. He realizes that people like Mel Carmine is going to stick a camera in his face and is going to ask him tough questions like, "Hey, why were you ready to put my friend Van Miller in prison, calling him the third shooter when he told you he had guns in the back of the car and he wanted to, abide by the law, and you were ready to, if you could have figured out a way that you could have finagled that bagel and advanced your political career and put that kid in jail for life, you would have done it in a second. You know why? Because I know a scumbag when I see a scumbag, and Bianco, you are a scumbag."
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yep. It's going to be great once we've turned the page over and things are finally set up in a fair manner. Yeah. And we're actually going to have a country, not this excuse of one that's been
now he
decimated.
Wants to do a paper ballot with serial numbers, which may be somewhat more foolproof than the old system. That's great. The only thing I disagree with Herms, and I say it publicly, is maybe he doesn't understand the blockchain system as well as you and I and the shaman does. But there was one guy on stage. He said, "We got to bring the voting on blockchain." And I would like to bring in people that can explain it to Herms and his team in layman's terms so that they understand how powerful it really is, and that all the blocks have to agree in order for that vote to come out the other side a legitimate vote. Number 1. You would be one of the guys I would bring to the table, Shaman.
Listen, it's already been done. You guys didn't realize it. They already did it.
Mm-hmm.
So when they did the recounting in the Arizona,
right,
and they set up that camp inside that auditorium, and they had all those colors of each person that worked in each group of what they were doing when they were doing the recount. Remember all that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys?
Yeah.
I want you to realize something. Weeks before that happened, Trump shows up on one of those planes that it moves the
Oh
and
yeah,
they
yeah,
land
yeah.
like ospreys.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He lands on in South Carolina. My buddy who lives there in South Carolina calls me and says, I just had 3 ospreys go over top of me and they're landing on an aircraft carrier in the port. Moments later, we start getting pictures of Trump getting off that plane or
With
that, yeah,
Melania.
I don't know what was it, but he had, and then he gets escorted into the, um, but he walks through the color, like of a color guard, where all of those guys had the Z on
Oh,
their,
did they? Nice.
yeah, yeah, nice. And when he walked in the door above it, the Z.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right there were the same colors of what they used in the audit.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks
Yeah.
ago, he had a interview on 60 Minutes. You guys see that interview? About 2 weeks ago?
No.
I didn't watch it, but yeah.
He said 17, the number 17, 18 times.
Yay.
How many
Good
times
to
does he
hear.
have to tell everybody that, hey, this is who we are, right?
Yeah.
He's like Q plus plus, right?
Yeah.
Q plus. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Q plus.
Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, I mean, it does take some time. I know it's crazy to think that here we are in almost 2026, and we're still working on this this deprogramming operation. But I mean, there are people that are late bloomers, and it honestly, I would say that for the next 20 to 30 years, this deprogramming effort's still going to be going to a certain extent, but we're getting through the hardest of it now. And it was always, it was always going to take a number of years. So, but we're well along. We're definitely
the fact
well
that the
along.
family is very pro crypto, the fact that they launched World Liberty Finance, my wife was able to buy a little bag of that.
Yeah.
Where are you guys? I mean, these guys have embraced the whole entire new financial system. They're part of it. They have their own coins in the market.
Yeah.
Where do you think, for example, a World Liberty Finance token, which I don't believe is mineable? I don't know enough about it to be quite honest with you. My wife just buys the stuff and then we have it, right? But where do you guys think, as far as the World Liberty Financial token, how is it going to play into the overall new financial system?
Well, I mean, I think it's certainly going to be an option for a stable coin. You see that's the thing. Like they look at it as a competitor of RLUSD and whatnot, and it is technically or their stable coin, but XRP it's not what almost anybody realizes it is. So I don't look at it as really in competition, but
Right.
It's definitely World Liberty Financial will definitely be one of the assets that survives. One of the things I don't like about what Eric and Don have to say a lot about digital assets, they're big on Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah, I wish they would
And
stop that. I really do.
I think I know why they do it, because a huge part of the Trump voting Republican base that is into digital assets is big into those Bitcoin, Ethereum. So you almost have to include them. But those that truly know what's going on, we know, right? But I don't think what we know was ever meant to be well known.
Mhm.
Like it's
I don't
supposed to
think,
just
World
happen.
Liberty Finance, I don't know a lot about it, but I do know this: it's not a stable coin. It could go as high as 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, whatever it is.
I thought there was a stable coin component to it. They don't have a
No,
different coin that's under the World Liberty Financial umbrella.
not that I know of, but the World
Okay.
Liberty Finance token it could go as high as
Okay.
it wants to go.
In that case, then I
Comments.
must be confusing it with something else. I'm not.
Well, I
I
can
don't
tell
know a
you-
whole lot about
I
World
can tell
Liberty.
you that, yes, it's true that Donald Trump lost $5 billion becoming the president, and they, obviously he's not part of the club. Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason why he got in is because he's got all of us behind him, and because
Yeah,
he's got balls
yeah.
the size of King Kong. But the reality is that they stand to make $5 trillion in
Yeah.
this game of cryptocurrency. The
Right.
whole thing.
I say more power to them. I mean,
Yes.
if anybody deserves it, it's them. It's them, and it's the patriotic American citizen that has been taken advantage of for so long. We all deserve a massive win. If you guys noticed, there was more that came out from Trump himself about money that's going to start returning to the population. You see, like we know about these reparations that need to be made. We know why the average American doesn't. So they're calling it tariff rebate, money that's coming to us on a dividend. $2,000 a month per person for low and middle income families, low to middle income individuals. Higher income people don't qualify, but it's the start of the return of money from that side back to the people. It's taken a while to get there, but we're starting to see more talk about it. They've talked about Doge dividends. They're priming us for all of us to start receiving a significant amount of money back from the federal government from all the mischief and fraud that's occurred. So I find that interesting that's picking up steam now, because the closer we get to that tells me that the closer we are to the flip of the system, because I don't know that they're going to start these payments until we have a rollout. They might, it's possible. But I really do believe that we will see the new system roll out by the first half of the year next year. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but it seems like we're on trajectory for that.
I think it's really important that we really start to put our heads together and find out who is going to run the country in 2028, because before you know it, we're going to go to sleep one day and it's here.
Oh, yeah. There's a plan in place. That was even in the drops. Is there a plan in place post-Trump? And Q answered yes. So we'll see what that is, but there's definitely a plan for that.
Do you think it might be Eric Trump? Do you think that's a possibility? Do you think he's groomed enough to be the next president of the United States?
I personally don't. Neither do I think Don Jr. is the right personality for it. Mm-hmm. They could have Vance in the position he's in because they might run him. I think that what we're looking at is it's obvious we're gonna continue down this continuity until all of the pieces are in place where we have a new system. But by the time we get to 28, all of the ducks will be in their proper order so that we will get who we vote for. And the majority of people are actually very patriotic people. They don't want illegals everywhere. They don't want to be taxed to infinity. Like, these are all. That's why the Democrats had to dip their toe into the illegal alien pond, because they didn't have a significant enough voter base left. You see? So they needed illegals to come and help them get elected. Mm-hmm. They just don't have any. Like, the Democrat Party is finished. With this executive order for 26, we're going deep red, man. And when 28 comes around, I don't have a worry in the world. They could run Vance. They could run.
Vance would be a wrong choice. I think Vance is skull and bones. I think the New World Order will not miss a step. I think it'll be business as usual, and the bad guys are bad. Vance is just a placeholder.
He could be. I actually believe that there's a lot to that he is a placeholder. So we'll see. All I know is that whoever is going to take that role is going to deserve it, and they're going to be the right person. Otherwise, none of this makes any sense if it's not.
Unless Donald Trump goes inside a celestial chamber technology,
yes,
and comes out the other side, and he's like, 37 years old again, and then we could run him for the next.
And he could be king again, right?
Yeah.
Let's make him the king. You were talking about the Seven Kingdoms, Shaman. Tell the people a little bit about what you know about that. That we might be moving towards having seven kingdoms.
That's what's happening. This is all biblical, what we're going through. Every bit of it. This is all. You have to realize it's a battle of good and evil. And we've not known what the good's been doing for thousands of years because we didn't control that part of the broadcasting part of the world. It was all owned by the bad people.
Right.
And in process, basically, we have the Trump family, the Kennedy family, the Clooney family that have been fighting this war for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is basically, it's their time. We see them all rising up into positions in front of us. Kayleigh McEnany, Jesse Waters, Ezra Cohen Watnick, Robert Kennedy,
Michael Flynn, even.
yeah,
he's going to come back around.
Julia Assange. They're all part of it. Yeah, they're all part of it.
What do you, not to get off subject, but what do you guys make of the fact that we have not had one hurricane in Florida in 2025? Not one.
Because they keep blowing them off.
That's right. That's right. There was that one that happened recently that went through Jamaica. That was actually supposed to derail Guantanamo, which is built to withstand a category 7.
Yeah.
So what all that got damaged was like, very, very minor structure that has nothing to do with the actual prison. So they failed again.
Below that were tunnels that went through that same corridor where the hurricane went through. So it's probably to fill up tunnels. Yeah.
In Jamaica?
Just like North Carolina, just like Texas.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Jamaica got clobbered though, man. But yeah, there's always if there's like a regressive operation unfolding, the good guys will either blow it off course or use some of the damage to further along their agenda, which is usually flooding underground tunnels or running operations while there's a big distraction of a storm. I think what we're about to see actually is some major moves made on Venezuela. They just moved another aircraft carrier into the region.
Oh, there's no question.
So,
we're going to liberate Venezuela. It's a long time coming. And, I asked a question to 107 in my last interview I did with him about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And I said, is this where we see the reevaluation of the Boulevard? And he basically said yes. Go listen to it for yourself. Okay.
I watched it.
Yeah. I think it's going to revalue all at once. I don't think it's going to be XRP first, and then a month later it'll be the paper currency, and then a month later it'll be the metals.
Everybody's waiting, buddy. Everybody's waiting.
It's got to be the digital stuff. Even if it was in an order, the digital stuff would have to go first, because if you're going to do the paper stuff, you need that system in place. Right.
Colin, really, truly, the metals have to go first, because that's what's backing the money. So those numbers need to be truly identified of what the real values of those are.
Well, did you see what Did you see what Andy Shepman said?
No.
Andy said, "You ready for this? In 2 weeks, you're going to look for silver, and you ain't going to find it. Not
unobtainium, yeah.
2 weeks."
But think about this, Colin. In 2014, all the things that actually were put in place. ISO 20022, COMEX 589 rule, the split of Ripple and Stellar. If you could throw the patent for XRP as well in there, because that was done on December 31st in 2013. All right, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. But there was so many more things that actually happened that I even forget. But Basel 3, Basel 4 were put together then too. So everything was done then. That's for right now.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that the war, as you would look at it from the standpoint of like the Earth Alliance and the Cabal, was for the most part won by around 2015. That's why when they started the Trump operation, it was a wake-up operation and a bridge to everything that's new. I mean, like you said, this has been going on for a long time. So, yeah.
Holly, did you ever hear too that back on December 24th, 2000, 16 is that they took the elites out. Did
They
you
took
give
the families. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have. Yeah, yeah. The 13 bloodline families. They were all taken down that night. Yeah, that was that was a huge piece. They were already losing big time, but that was like kind of what put icing on the cake. Everything we've
I,
really seen since has been scripted movie.
I think what by doing that though, that put in place the capability for Trump to go in 7 months later on the
Yeah,
retribution tour, right, and walk in there and say,
yeah,
"We got it all. We
yeah,
got it all." Right. And
yep,
they just said, "Here's the keys."
yeah.
Right. Here's the
Well,
keys.
That's right.
look, it's been
Yep.
taking longer than we wanted to. I'll give you a classic example. Here in Florida, even DeSantis, he's doing everything right. You would think that he would be a perfect candidate. Donald Trump used to call him DeSantimonious. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's also another
Skull and
what,
Bones.
A
He's a skull and
yeah, there
bones.
you
bonesman.
go.
Yeah, so he would be a wrong choice to put into the White House because it would be he's doing everything right in Florida because he wants his bigger scope is to get to the White House. He's never going to see the White House, not because he's not qualified. Because we know that once he gets there, the mask comes off and the New World Order is back in business. But look at what he's doing here, for example. All right, unprecedented. He's trying to get rid of property taxes. Okay, if property taxes are lifted here in 2026, which I believe they will, real
Yep.
estate is going to boom all over again here. Even if that's all I have to do is lower the interest rates down to like 2%, okay, 2%, and get rid of the property taxes. People are going to come to Florida in droves, and we can
More than
house.
they already are. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of empty land out here. We can house 100 million people. In
I'll be heading down there either next year or the
It's
following. Yeah.
huge. The overpopulation
Where you
story is a
at?
bullshit story.
I'm in New York,
What part?
about 45 to an hour northwest of the city.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the bottom line is look at all the people who are rising up against him because they don't want this gravy train that they've been skimming off the top. We know that. I mean, you guys think we're stupid? Seriously?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
really, think about it. Do you think we're stupid? We were born at night, but not last night. Okay?
Mhm.
So, all the people who are rising up against him are the people who are stealing the money from the property tax system. So technically, you don't own any properties anywhere in the United States right now because you're renting the land that your house sits on from the government. And if you don't pay that rent that your house sits on, they come and confiscate your house. How wrong is that? That's got to
Right.
go. It's going to happen
Yeah.
in Florida. You don't think California is going to follow? You don't think Texas is going to follow? You think they're going to allow everybody to move to Florida? No.
Right.
It's going to set a precedence. The taxation comes from tariffs. When William McKinley was here, right, many, many, many decades ago, before 1913, right back in the 1800s, when William McKinley was here, we were the richest nation in the world. We had a surplus of cash we didn't know what to do with. That's the same exact plan that Trump was running on. He's saying, hey, you want to do business with the richest nation in the world, most powerful nation in the world? Pay us. Okay? He wants to get rid of income tax altogether. He wants to get the taxation from other countries, and we'll bring in 10 times more money than what we, as citizens of the United States, could pay as in taxes. This is going to become the richest, most healthy, most powerful nation in the world all over again. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Everything
Absolutely.
that's going on right now is all based on Nasara. Everything that's
Yeah.
what's going on right now, it's all Jasara, Nasara. All this tariff stuff is all Jasara. All the ceasing of military actions within countries because they can't have that if they want to be part of the system. It's
Yep.
happening.
Yeah.
It's going down. We're in it. We
Yeah.
see it. We know it. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
folks,
I just wish
Yeah.
yeah, folks, listen. This show is going to go on. We're probably going to add another person, which would make it four, and we'll maybe call it Four Bros or something. I don't know what we're going to call it. We're going to call it something. So once a week. I don't know if it's going to be every Wednesday or every Thursday. We haven't not an exact fixed date yet, but we will be on the air.
Yeah.
Not on the air
Let's
live.
do it.
We're going to do it pre-recorded. I get rid of my
I like
account.
it.
I get
Yeah,
rid
it'll
of
be
my
good.
account because you slip one word and they shut you down. They just shut down my account on X. No strike one, no strike two, no strike three. Just shut it down
Yeah, which is
I didn't do anything.
surprising.
I put up a commercial. I put a commercial that basically it was artificial intelligence. Donald Trump talking and say, "Hey, it's true that the med beds are coming out, but while you wait, there's this other option called staying alive in Cape Canaveral." They shut me down because of that commercial.
Wow. Who knows, man? I don't know what their policies are like.
I may
don't
get
use
on an
X.
airplane and go
I
to
should.
I
heaven.
saw
I
that
don't.
commercial on the Shaman's Telegram, and they didn't shut you down.
I know. What is your channel? This way that people could follow you, Shaman.
Well, in Telegram, it's called the XRP Shaman, but it's the underscore XRP underscore Shaman.
Perfect. And how do they follow you, Colin?
Well, I currently don't have a channel, man. I have
You
to
will.
get going again. I keep getting nuked every time I start a new one. So I
Oh.
think now with YouTube with their policies, they're giving channels back to people. I should be able to maintain one, if not get my old channel back. But I will get something going, and somewhere along the line of one of these shows we're doing here, I'll have that information
Perfect.
to announce.
Now, where is X.com located? Their headquarters. You know where any of their? I'm serious. I'm thinking about jumping on an airplane.
They're in Texas, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they out
I'm
of
thinking
Austin?
about jumping on an airplane. Say you want to shut me down because of this? Really? And I might bring a couple of guys to film the whole thing while I go there. I might want to embarrass them a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I would. What I would do is before you go down there, I would look and see what their policies are around advertisement, and just see if you can find something in the paperwork or in the writing of it. And then if we can't find
spoof.
nothing,
Colin, it was a spoof because recently Donald Trump somebody made another artificial intelligence commercial.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
And it was a spoof on that.
Yeah, right.
It was like we're having fun here, right?
Right. Yeah, something's not right about that, man. So
yeah,
that's weird. Are you just like suspended or?
No, it's shut down. I sent them already two appeals.
Wow.
No reply.
Wow.
Yeah. 2 appeals and no reply.
We're gonna have to get Mr. Musk's attention directly on this matter.
I know
you should ask Juan to talk to Elon, and maybe you can get it back up.
Well, if I could ever get endorsed for it, my channel would be like 130,000 instead of 13,000, right? Very quickly.
Your numbers have always been held back, Mel.
Oh yeah,
big time. We were talking about this 3-4 years ago.
Why do you think I came up with the movie DearMrPresident.net, DearMRPresident.net?
Right.
The link will be down below. If you haven't watched the movie, you need to watch it. And if you want, you can actually download it. There's a little thing there with Vimeo. You click the Vimeo link, you can download it. It doesn't matter whether you have a Telegram channel or a YouTube channel. It doesn't matter whether you're a podcaster, you're not a podcaster, you have a Facebook account. Take it and run with it. It's in 8 different languages.
Right.
So we want eyeballs.
Cool.
We want, right? So we launched it on the 9th, and on the 10th, Charlie got shot.
Yeah, that timing is brutal.
Brutal.
That's so brutal, man.
Yeah, otherwise, it would have had because Charlie probably would have jumped all over it and would have been on our side and endorsed that kind of a movie. It was brilliantly done.
Yeah.
But maybe part 2 is going to shed light on part 1, but part 2 is not going to be free.
Probably for another conversation. I actually don't believe Charlie Kirk is dead.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Well, the entity is, but not the person. Yeah.
Well,
there's a ton of evidence that they used the holographic projector in what they showed us. So
there's a lot of anomalies, and that battlefield was choreographed. Somewhere in some big warehouse to be confusing. You had a guy taking his pants off, literally in his underwear. One, you had a guy with a gun like this, like a gun.
Yeah.
You had another guy said, "I did it." Okay, you have people messing around with the entire crime scene, taking cameras down. You're not supposed to touch the crime scene. You had a guy going like this with his glasses, like they press a record button. You had another guy handing shit off to another guy.
You got his own security. His own security was making gestures that people make when you're downrange, man.
Yes.
So.
Okay, there's just too many anomalies. Again,
he's not dead. That was a choreographed show.
We were born at night.
40,000 feet.
That's right.
Yeah, we were born at night, not last night.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Exactly.
Thank you. We'll catch you in the next one. We'll hold you guys back a little bit.
Thanks, Mel.